So the truck is done, guys. Um, Tell me what you think in the comments. I think personally it came out pretty cool looking. Um, it's just a dump truck. I mean, everybody have seen dump trucks online and the high dollar ones like the Scale Arts and the lesus and whoever. But this is my dump truck. I'm kind of proud of it. Now I know in my last video I said that the cab was a pain in the butt to put together. And it was. I mean, this cab, I do not recommend this cab for anybody. You know, I'm sorry. I love the lesu parts. I think they look good. Mine, sorry about the truck being dirty, but I've been driving it around and testing out all the different functions. Um, this truck, I don't recommend it for anybody. Tell you, at least the body. The truck, don't worry about that. But the body was a pain to put together. Mismatching screws, uh, parts that didn't have holes in them where they needed to have holes. They had a bunch of things that just wasn't designed very well. Like one of the big things was the mirrors. The mirrors had a little eyelet in them that a screw went through, and it might be like that on the real truck, but on an RC truck you can't have that because when you, especially when it's going into plastic, if you screw the screw in too tight to keep the mirrors from flopping around, well, it cracks the little hole, and now your mirror is broken. And I don't know, even though they give you a parts list in the instruction manual for the different parts, I don't see it being very easy to get replacement parts for this chassis, for this cab. But saying all that, well, before I give it any good accolades, we're going to keep going with some of the bad stuff. One of the other things that kind of sold me on the truck, but ended up being a pain in the butt, was this battery box. Now, I don't have the full battery box put together because it doesn't work. See, this piece right here is actually supposed to go right there. The problem is, if I put that piece in, the cab doesn't close all the way, and it doesn't close freely. I mean, I can get it closed, but it's real tight and it bounces around, and it doesn't go together very easy. Another piece that's a major thing to me, just because it looks incomplete, there was supposed to be a piece that sits in here. It's like a little step and like a handle or something that goes into here. They didn't give me that piece in the instruction manual. Instruction manual. They didn't give me that piece in the box. And I don't remember in the unboxing if I even saw it. I have tore this garage apart looking for that piece, thinking that maybe I lost it, but it's not there. But what makes it a big deal is you can see the wires coming from the lights in there. The other thing was the lights. They give you lights for the truck, and they burnt out. The first time I turned them on, they burnt out. And I know they weren't getting too much power because these little guys up here, they still work. And those are the ones, they also give you these too. So I don't know what was going on with lesu when they put this one together in the box. Now I know this is what they call, and again, I might be wrong, guys, so I'm not a truck expert, but I think this is the VM version of the FE cab or something like that. They make a CM version. That one I've heard goes together beautifully. So I don't know what's the difference is. And from what I do understand from one of the guys on Facebook, really the main difference is the bumper and the fenders. But the actual cab is the same, and I think the grill's a little bit different. But the cab itself is the same truck. Kind of like the Mercedes-Benz Aroxes and Actroses. You know, you take all the grills and stuff off the Arox and put Actros stuff on it. It looks almost exactly like. But that's the bad part with the cab. Now, the things that I did do to this truck, because this truck really didn't start out to be a rebuild. This truck was just going to just be a cab project, but when I took the cab off the truck and took the bed off the truck because I wanted to change the bed to this one, um, looking at the chassis or the frame rails, whatever you want to call them, they were they were full of holes. I mean, it was just horrible. And I've shown you before parts of that frame rail. Here you go, right here. It's just full of holes. And mind you, this is not the fact that I'm a bad modeler, or it could be, but the main reason is this truck, the original iteration of this truck, I made back in 2000 and wow, like 2010. So here it is, 2021, 22. So yeah, you can see how old the truck is. And over those years, I've added things to it, took it off, uh, redesigned it, took it off, put different things on. Originally, this crane was designed and was made for that truck. So that's one thing that was a major change over the years. But with that, I put a new chassis on it. So basically, it's a new truck. I still kept the original, the tanks that I had and the hydraulic pump that I had from the original build. I added this little tank and I lost the cap. I just got to go to Home Depot or wherever and try to find a screw big enough to fit in that and close that off. On the other side, I don't want to make this a very long video. My videos tend to be kind of long. It's just a gas tank. What I might do is figure out what goes here, like on this side, if it's a muffler or something, and put that tank right between here. Or another thing that I'm really thinking about doing is actually moving this back wheel, this back front rim, wheel, axle, whatever, moving it back a little bit more. That way there's a little bit more space between the rims. You give it, I know in real life they do that to spread out the weight of the truck. So, but this little truck like here, I don't know if that makes a big deal. I haven't really taken this off-road yet to kind of find out if it does or not. The other thing I did was put a trailer hitch on it, and I put this little 3D printed section here, and it has a connection for a Futaba plug, and it has a XD60 plug that goes to the power under the cab. That way I can run a trailer or whatever I want to run off the back of the truck. Now, the other main thing I did, and let me stop the camera real quick so I can flip the truck over. So now that I got the truck flipped over, I'll show you another thing I did. Put a different servo here, better steering servo. This is one of those little Amazon servos you see all over the internet, and it seems to be pretty good. I have one of these in all of my trucks, and they seem to be more power than I ever need for any of these trucks. So, but this is a digital servo. Added that to the steering. I put the 3-speed in it, like I said in my last video, instead of the 2-speed that was in there. But the big thing was I put new axles on it. Instead of the Tamiya axles, I put some Hercules Hobbies axles on it. To me, they look like lesu knockoffs, but I don't know. Hercules Hobbies is kind of weird like that. But it's got new axles. And one of the things that I really always wanted to do, and it was a pain in the butt to me, was to link the steering with One Servo. And these axles gave me the ability to do that because there's a little piece on the other side that comes off behind the leaf spring here, where I can connect the tie rod, and now you have the link steering. Sorry for the camera moving around fast, guys. I'm just trying to hold it. The other thing I'm using, which I've done for years, and I need to replace this one, so sorry. But I'm using Traxxas drive shafts. The ones you see that are plastic, when the local hobby shop finally gets the metal ones in, I'm going to replace those with the metal ones. With the little cups here, if you want to call them, the out drives or universal joint. But I'm using Traxxas axles. They always seem to be dry shaft, sorry. They seem to be strong enough to do the job. I've never had a problem with them. I think I've only twisted them out once or twice, and that's because I was pulling something that was just way incredibly too heavy for the truck. So yeah, let me turn this over again, and we'll be right back. Okay, just to wrap it up, the truck is done, like I said, and like I'm happy with the way it came out. And again, this all started because I wanted to put a new cab on the truck, and I wanted something different because I'm always wanting to be a little different from everybody else. So I guess guess that's just me. I was always the kid. Growing up in a black neighborhood, I was always the kid where everybody was out playing basketball. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a baller. I play basketball left and right. Pretty good at it, but I was always the kid home watching anime while all the kids are out there at the basketball court. So I was, I'm always been a little bit different. But saying that and just wanting something different from everybody else, that's why I got this cab. And I'm happy with it since it's done, and I know how to work around it, and the truck looks good, and I'm cool with that. But if I had to buy it again, I wouldn't have bought this cab. What I probably would have ended up doing, like I said in my last video, I probably would have got the JD models, or Eagle Machinery, whoever really makes that truck, the RC 4-wheel drive Armageddon dump truck. They sell the cab separately, and it's a Volvo FMX cab. I probably would have got that if I knew then what I know now. But it's a Volvo, and that's what I was after. And it's a good-looking Volvo, so so I'm happy with that. Now, just to give it my customary, would I buy it again? No. I wouldn't have bought it, like I just said before. If I knew then what I know now, no. I definitely wouldn't have bought this. I probably would have bought something completely different. I love the Mercedes-Benz Arocs. I think that's a cool looking, rugged, just space age looking, modern looking truck. I'm kind of cyberpunk. I kind of like that look that truck has. I probably would have, knowing then what I know now, I probably would have got one of those or that Volvo FMX cab. Now, in the future, this guy is going to be replaced because he's another one where the frame is pretty much Swiss cheese, and it's old. That's probably, oh wow, that one's older than the dump truck, because the dump truck I made because that one was my only semi truck, and I wanted a semi truck to pull that excavator. So I made a dump truck. That way I didn't have to have so many different trailers, and trailers are expensive and all that stuff. And back then I wasn't making the money I make now, which I still don't make a lot of money, but I make better than I did. So again, if this truck was made in 2010, that one is older than that. So that one's going to be replaced. What I'm thinking about doing, and again, I know this video is starting to get kind of long. I'm actually thinking about taking the Hercules Hobbies Arocs there and making it into a heavy hauler, using some of the good parts that I have off of that one and putting it on this one, and just ordering a better chassis or a new chassis and just doing that. Now, Tamiya is coming out with a brand new Scania. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that's a tough looking truck. So I'm really just waiting on that to come out and stop being lazy and do my tax return so I can get some tax return money. Now, I said it in the past that I don't like their products. Another thing I was thinking about doing was getting the RC 4-wheel drive Mercedes-Benz Zetros, the 4x4. I have enough 6x6 trucks, so I don't want another 6x6. Or whatever. This one's 8x8, but I was thinking about getting that because it's something a little bit different, and this truck looks kind of weird when I'm trying to take it just on a little off-road trail trip. It does it Same with that one. You'd be surprised, believe it or not, how far this truck right here, even with the landing legs that almost touch the ground, you'd be surprised how well they trail drive. But they look kind of weird, so I'm looking for something like that. But we'll see. I do know in the future I'm going to get a little way in the channel, a little way from the construction vehicles for a little bit, because I also want to get back into doing the on-road cars. But anyway, that's in the future. So hope you guys like this video. This is how it came out. Tell me what you think about it in the comments, and I can answer any questions you want, at least to the best of my abilities. Well, thumbs up the channel and the video, and subscribe to the channel, and see you again next time.